ahead.
We're taking your plant and garden questions today for Lisa Briggs. The number to call is 270-9933.
And Lisa is live at the Bruce Company in Middleton. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. You ready for some calls?
I am.
All right, we'll start with Judy in Verona. Hi, Judy.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
My question for Lisa is about Baptista or false indigo. I have a lovely plant with some really nice seed pods. I'd like to know if I can propagate them.
It depends on if it's a cultivar or a named variety or if you have one like the native one. So if it's the white or blue native, you can grow that from seed, but if it's something like Prairie Twilight Blues or one of the newer varieties, they're usually pretty sterile. So you can certainly use the seed pods for winter interest, but you probably won't get much germination out of them.
Okay. Yeah, I've had the plant for about 10 years, and I don't know what variety.
Well, is it one of the more fancy ones? Like there's Prairie Twilight Blues is the oldest, and it's blue with sort of a yellow-orange flashing in the middle on the inside. That would be a cultivar. If you have not seen seedlings coming up in the past 10 years, it's probably very likely that you have a variety that's sterile.
Okay.
So probably not.
All right, let's go to Sandy in Dodgeville. Hi, Sandy. What's your question?
Hi. I would like to know, how do you recommend to get rid of Japanese beetles?
Well, Japanese beetles spend about 85% of their life in the ground under your turf, and the grubs are eating the grass, the roots of your lawn. So the first thing to do as the first line of defense is to use a grubicide. There are chemical grubicides, and there are more organic treatments that you can use that are super effective that will cut the population when it's in the ground. That being said, Japanese beetles can fly up to a mile. So if there's something in your yard that they want, they're going to come and get it. If you have plants that are not seed or fruit bearing, you can use a systemic insecticide that as they chew on the leaves, they will die. But you can't use something like that on, say, a food crop that either you eat or wildlife eats. In that case, you just need to spray with 8 and treat your soil. It's the best way to go.
And hope for an early frost. Let's go to Judy in Monroe. Hi, Judy. What's your question?
Yes, I have full-size maple trees, and I have a problem with them dying kind of out of the center, and there's a lot of them around town that are also dying. They have the little more reddish leaf to them. I was wondering if something we can do to help it.
Well, the major cause of decline in maples is planting depth, and so if your maple is going, pardon?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. If your maple goes right into the ground like a telephone pole, it's probably planted too deep, and then that's just sort of a decline. You'll get early fall color, you'll get more tip dieback on it, your canopy will be thinner. The only thing you can do to combat that is to apply like a tree fertilizer. The spikes work really well, and then if we have a droughty kind of period in the late summer, to make sure that you irrigate it.
Okay, let's go to Judy.
That wasn't my question.
Judy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
What's your question?
My question is about a daffodil that doesn't bloom. It produces wonderful green every year. Very nice sized bush of daffodils, but it never blooms.
Well, there are a couple things you can do. If the bulbs are old and have been in the ground for a while, you can certainly put in a bloom booster, which is a fertilizer that you can just broadcast on the soil in the area where the bulbs are. You can do that in the fall, and you can also do that in the spring, and that will help boost flower production. And though daffodils are somewhat shade tolerant, if these plants are in a place where it's pretty shady, then they might not be getting enough sun to develop the flower buds, and you might want to lift them and move them to some place that's a little bit brighter.
All right, let's go to Donna in Monticello. Hi, Donna. What's your question?
Yes, we have a pear tree. It's about 2 years old, and they look beautiful up there, and they drop, and they're rotten. Pears are.
Okay.
So what could you do to keep...
pears...
There you go.
So
No,
pears
it-
are.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, they look
Pears
gorgeous
are a
up there in the
fruit that-
tree.
Okay,
All right,
but you have to pick them.
Okay, it's your
pears
turn.
Are not a, yeah, pears are not a fruit where it develops on the tree for a long period of time like an apple. When pears are ripe, you have to pick them or they will rot on the tree or fall and rot. So it's something that, and then usually I would say pears are ripening end of July into mid-August. So it's a little bit earlier than you would say an apple tree. So what you have to do is you just have to harvest it.
Didn't know that.
Don't leave them up there.
Good to know. All right, Rosalind, what's your question?
Yes, I had a strange thing with the potato plants I had this year. I dug up one of them, and they had little green, I didn't know what they were. They were little clumps like the cherry tomatoes are. And the
Okay.
bottom of the plant had the potatoes. But there were tomatoes on the top of that plant and potatoes on the ground.
Oh, that is really weird. So
Yeah.
potatoes and tomatoes are from the same family, the Solanaceae family. Also peppers and a couple of other things, including some things that are a little bit poisonous. Eggplants in that family as well. I have never heard of a tomato plant producing potatoes, though. So I am stumped. I don't know what to tell you. Did you grow from seed or did you buy the plant somewhere? That is just
she's
really
gone.
weird.
She's gone. That's,
I don't know what to say.
you handled it well.
It's
Lisa?
rare you get stumped, Lisa. Very rare.
I just do not know what to say about that.
All right, well, we're out of time. Thanks for everyone for calling in. Thanks, Lisa. We'll see you soon. We'll be right back with a